Hello, beautiful people. We have Liz Cross, our expert in mind probing. Again, she can't show her face for security reasons. But Liz, you want to quickly tell them what mind probing is?
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always happy to be here. Your audience are great.
Oh,
Mind
uh,
probing is a form of remote viewing, not really taught anymore, but it was used specifically by the U.S. military
ooh,
years and years ago to predict all of Saddam Hussein's movements
oh wow.
in Desert Storm. Yeah, that's what it was used for originally. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, and we're going to have her information on the screen and in the description box below. And here to help us with this mind probe of Tim WALZ is my son Eric in the afterlife. Hi, Eric. I love you.
And he loves you too, Mom.
Oh.
He used to love Halloween.
Yeah, he did. All right, Timothy Walz, born April 6, 1964, is an American politician, former educator, and retired United States Army non-commissioned officer who has served since 2019 as the 41st governor of Minnesota. Walz is the Democratic nominee for the Vice President of the United States, as you know. So, you got him? You got his mind?
I do have his mind. Yes, I do.
What are you sensing?
Um, oh dear. So just to preface this, right? I don't know a lot about him. I did
Me
do
neither.
JD Vance on my channel. So if anybody tries to say, "Oh, you girls are biased," I mean, I've already done JD
Uh-oh.
Vance.
Right.
And he was due to get mind probe, Tim Walz. Very deranged.
Oh boy. Wait, who?
Tim Walz. I'm
Oh,
getting like
wow.
his brain is very disorganized. It's very scrambled. Like it's not orderly. He flits from one thing to another very quickly. There's no focus. There's something not right there.
Oh gosh. All right, let's talk to his higher self that always tells the truth. Do you like Kamala, Timothy, or Tim? And by the way,
Mm,
these are all from the community. I haven't even read these. So don't shoot the
right.
messenger.
Let's ask, do you like Kamala? No, he does not like her. Now,
Why?
funnily enough, I got the same answer from JD Vance about Trump. Um, why? Why don't you like Kamala? She's annoying. Why is she annoying? So he doesn't like that she's in the lead, right? He doesn't like that he has to answer to her.
Yeah.
He's used to doing his own thing. He doesn't like checks and balances. He doesn't like being told what to do, how to behave. And of course, that's not really just her. That's going to be the team of people that are prepping them for this race.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like it. He doesn't even know why. He's saying to me why she selected me.
Do you think Kamala really picked you, or was she told to pick you? Or
She
Eric
was
might
told.
have to answer this. Oh, okay. All right. Who's really in charge of Kamala?
Who's really in charge of Kamala? There's a guy that's head of, is that a PR team? No, it's like a political team. Again, this is the campaign, the head of the campaign who is running the show, right? The Tim's laughing. He says he even tells us how to breathe and how to talk and about our head movements and moving our shoulders too much and how to stand. Like he doesn't like this stuff.
I wouldn't like it either. It's not worth it, man. Do you listen to Obama and Hillary?
Do you listen to Obama? No. And Hillary? Yes, he likes Hillary.
Okay.
Do you talk with Hillary? No, not so much. I mean, she gave him a phone call about, don't fail, don't do anything stupid. I'm like, geez, is that a
Oh,
threat?
fellas now. Yeah. Okay. Do you truly believe what you say, or are you just repeating Democratic talking points?
Do you truly believe what you say? No, he's told what to say.
Okay. Well, name something that you don't believe in that you're talking about.
Name something that you
One
don't
thing.
believe in, that you're abortion.
What do you think about abortion?
What do you think? Every life matters.
Okay.
He doesn't like abortion at all.
Okay. Wow, interesting. Because I think he passed some sort of law. I really don't know enough about him to, but to make it okay up to the ninth trimester. But maybe you were told to do that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Why are you, did you, what's this thing about expanding the rights to abortion? He was told to do that. That's not something he wanted to do, but
Oh,
it was
okay.
something necessary in order to stay in power. There's a lot of people behind him pulling his strings. I'm telling you, I can feel that. He's
Who's who?
just the front man. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
a lot going on behind him and her.
Yeah. I think we're just governed by this massive oligarchy. But I don't know. How much do you know about foreign policy?
How much do you know about foreign policy? He says, "Oh, I know enough." And I'm saying,
Okay.
"Well, what does that mean?" He goes, "I know enough to get by. I'm likable. I can generally say the nice things and the things that need to be said." He believes he's quite diplomatic. He doesn't believe he ever is hostile or, rubs people up the wrong way. In that regard, he tries to have a fair outcome for all.
Okay. I sense that. So, do you think the Democratic Party is in touch with the people, the poor people?
You think the Democratic Party is in touch with the poor people? They have no idea. Well,
The-
what do you mean they have no idea? They're so out of touch at this point. They have no idea about the farmers, the workers. And he's saying they hate us. I'm saying the farmers. He goes, yes, Liz, the farmers hate our guts. The workers, they don't like us. And he's talking more about like even the unions. He goes, yes, like even the unions, like the economy.
yeah.
Um, we're coming up and we're having a lot of heat, or we're taking a lot of heat, he says, for all of the economy, the economic disaster which we're living in. It's no longer even feasible, he says, for people to just work regular job. They need 4 jobs, he says, to get by. And we're losing on that front.
I said we're being governed by a massive oligarchy, but part of that oligarchy, I will say, is big donor money. They're the ones that shape our U.S. policy, unfortunately.
Mm.
All right, oh wait, I didn't finish this one. And what are the Democrats' policies for the economy so that people can afford to eat and afford housing?
Oh, that led right into that question. Okay. What do you think are the policies that will help people to afford to eat and housing? He's saying a food structure. I'm saying, what do you mean by food structure? Food assistance, food structures, more food banks, more food assistance, healthcare. He just threw in healthcare. What do you mean? Help with the cost of healthcare, expanding like health departments, expanding government healthcare. So do you want healthcare to be government? Yes. So you don't want an insurance paid healthcare system? No. He's all for like a national healthcare
Like
system.
Medicare for all?
Medicare for all. Yes, but I have to go back to him on this one. Okay, mate, like I've lived in that system. It's not really workable. It's not as good as how we are here now, where we can actually, in most places, get appointments. Even though
True.
it is a payer system, no system is perfect, but the government system, you could be waiting like, 10 years for a knee replacement. That's no exaggeration.
Really?
He goes, I realize that. So then I'm saying, but that's not really for the working people either, because then it's the people that have money, they can pay for private health care, and then you have everybody else sitting in a queue. He goes,
Yeah,
well, it's an unfair system, no matter how you look at it.
yeah. Okay. Will the Democrats continue to help the survivors of the North Carolina hurricane, survivors of North Carolina from the Hurricane Helene? I mean, there's years of cleanup and rebuilding for that area.
Yes, sir. Are the Democrats going to continue to help with that? No, that's down to government helping, not the Democratic Party. It's not Democratic responsibility, it's government responsibility.
Well, the Democrat is part of well, if you win, you'll be the government, part of the government, the administration.
Part of the
Would you
administration.
continue?
So will you help those people? Hey, well, I'll do what I can, but I don't know, unless the money is allocated, he says, there's only so much we can do with our budgets.
Okay. All right. Do you have a dog in the race for of fossil fuel to quit drilling in the USA?
Do you want to quit drilling in the USA? Oh, yeah, they're going to fully stop that.
Okay.
They want to stop that. Are you going to do the electric vehicle mandate? Absolutely.
Okay. So do you think that Kamala has flip-flopped just to get elected, but it's like a bait and switch?
Do you think
She'll
she's
go back to
flip-flopped?
her principles?
She's being told what to do, he says, what to say, how to think. It's all based upon poll data, he says. When the poll data comes back, what appeals most to the Democratic voters, their issues that they find most appealing that will keep them voting Democrat.
Yeah,
And she has to align her views, whether she likes to or not. And he says, whether I like to or not, with the polling data.
I got you. Do you think Kamala is honest?
Do you think Kamala is honest? No,
Tell me
he
more.
doesn't. Why don't you think Kamala is honest? He just called her a flake. I'm like, why did you call her a flake? She doesn't, she just bends and sways with whatever she's supposed to say. She doesn't stand there and really stand firm in what she believes, because a lot of people don't want to hear what she has to say. But I'm saying, but you do the same thing because you're being told what to say and what to do and how to. He goes, yeah, that's right. I don't know what to ask him from that.
I know. Well, so many people say you lie a lot. Do you lie a lot?
Do you lie a lot? If I need to, I tell white lies, yes.
Okay. Do you really know how to handle a shotgun?
Do you really know how to handle a shotgun? He was taught years ago.
Okay. So when you were fumbling with it, you were just rusty, maybe?
When you were fumbling with it, were you just rusty? Oh, it's been years since he's done that.
Okay.
So you were rusty? Yes.
All right. Has Kamala ever confided in you the truth about President Biden's health issues?
Ooh, juicy. Has Kamala ever confided in you about Biden's health issues? Yeah, he's senile. And she said that, yeah, she's running the show. I mean, that's something I think everybody wants to know. Like, who's running the country? So let's ask him, who is running the country
That's a
at
good
the
one.
moment? The chief of staff is running the country.
I
They're
don't even
calling
know
the
who it
shots.
is.
What
Okay.
about Jill? And Jill as well. Jill is sitting in on the briefings. Jill is sitting in, taking notes, and basically they're feeding Biden what to say. Does he always remember it? No, he has no idea what he's doing.
There are stories that you may have had. Okay, I think that. What can you tell us about that? And were you forced to resign? Oh, yeah. So there was a meeting with the school board, and you were forced to resign from your teaching job due to inappropriate actions with a student. And
Mm.
I suppose those things could be subpoenaed, but is that true? Is that why you resigned?
my God, I did not know that.
Yeah, I just
Is
read
that
about it recently.
is that why you was job with the school system? What about it? Is that why you resigned because of inappropriate? They caught me. Ooh, they caught me was his answer. So I don't know what he did. He was forced to resign.
Hmm. Caught you doing what?
Caught you doing what? Communicating with a minor in a sexual way.
So, text, emails.
Text, emails. Uh, in writing as well. Sometimes in writing, but text, not really text, more, was it email? More emailing
Okay.
and passing sort of love notes
Hmm.
to the student, trying to get this student to stay after work alone with the student.
Yeah.
Did you did you like have a desire for that student? Yes.
Okay. During the DNC, you forcefully tugged your son's hand. I didn't see that. Why did you do that? Have you abused him? Do you not love him?
You forcefully tugged your son's
I didn't
hand.
see that.
Why?
I watched the whole thing.
Because he never does what he's supposed to do. He was
Oh,
instructed, sort of given a rundown before the whole convention, and he was very non-compliant.
okay. Have you ever abused him?
Ooh. Have you ever abused your son? Well, now, excuse me, in his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, he says no. But a lot of abusers don't think that what they're doing is abuse. So let's ask this question.
Okay.
Have you ever touched your son inappropriately? No, he would never do that. Have you ever, engaged in any sort of inappropriate behavior with your son? No, absolutely not.
All right. Does your son or your wife know about your sexual preferences?
Does your son or your wife know about your sexual preferences? She knows. She
Okay.
knows.
But he probably doesn't. We could bring him in. Well, I don't know his name, so
Oh, the son?
yeah.
Okay. Let me grab the son. And we don't know his name.
No, something walls. It's okay if we can't
Okay,
do.
no worries. Okay, yeah. I've got a picture of him, so I'm looking at him. I need to look at him in order to
Oh
probe him.
yeah.
Okay, what would you like to know? Gus,
Do you suspect or know that your father is bi or homosexual?
do you suspect or know that your father's bi or homosexual? No, he keeps himself to himself. So you not really engaged that much with your father? No, he's always busy.
Okay.
He's never home.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much for that. Now back to Tim. Why have you gone to China so many times? Are you compromised or like a Chinese agent?
Why have you gone to China so many times? Oh, he loves the Chinese, he says. Well, you do? Oh, he loves the Chinese people. He loves the culture. He loves the community, the sense of pride. He loves everything about it. And I'm saying, excuse me, do you like the politics? He says, it's okay. Do you see anything wrong with communism? No, it works well in China.
Do you think communism would be a good idea here?
Ooh. Do you think communism would be a good idea in the USA? Oh, it's a brilliant idea.
Okay. If you were a president, would you sort of try to make that happen?
If you were president, would you try to make that happen? Yeah, he would put policies, he says, in place to break down the systems of capitalism and go more socialist communist, he says.
Okay. Do you genuinely believe that you are aligned with people and the policies that are in the highest and greatest good for American citizens? Your higher, yeah. And is your higher self in agreement?
That you are doing the greatest good for the citizens? Um, Is your higher self in agreement with that? No. So what do you think that the target or the bullseye is for your policies? Like, what is that? It's to benefit the upper echelon ranks of the Democrat Party. They all have their fingers in many financial pies, and it's all about making deals.
Okay. I suspected that. So
Mm,
global elite you're talking about,
the
or
global
just the
elite.
elites in our country.
The global elite. Some are global, mostly Americans. But then I'm going to say, like, do you get kickbacks? Do you get incentives sometimes? Do you get, gifts or because I would have thought you had to declare these things. Do you have to declare? You're supposed to. Do you always? No. Um, but you do get treated very well and gifted to, rub elbows with certain ranks of people that need things doing in government in order to make their businesses more profitable.
Mm,
I
okay.
would say most probably though, that's just about any
I,
politician
I, I was just
anywhere.
going to say that. That's not a right or a left thing. That is the politician. Why are you and your party so anti-RFK Jr.? I didn't know they were. The way the
Ooh,
Democrats have disowned him and are calling him crazy is just plain sick. Well, this person wants to vote for RFK Jr.
are you so anti RFK Jr.? He completely betrayed us. He was advised and told not to run. We couldn't have a Kennedy running in the race. He would take away the limelight, um,
Votes?
take away the votes. We cannot have such a divided party. We have to stand behind one candidate.
Okay.
So apparently he was advised, it sounds like he was advised not to. Now, I will tell your audience this, my audience already knows. I did a whole mind probe on RFK Jr. and uncovered some really nasty stuff about his ex-wife. She allegedly committed suicide. We found that not to be the case. And 2 days later, I never published that video, and that video completely disappeared off of my drives, off of everything.
Wow. The government is so scary. All right. So, Tim, do you understand the global elitists agenda and do you agree with it?
You understand the global elitist agenda, and do you agree with it? Yes, he thinks it's a fair policy. Why? Why would you? Because that makes you irrelevant. If we go to a one world government, that makes the ruling leaders in, the countries irrelevant. He says, I don't care. That's very important that we are all under one system. And he
Yeah.
says it's beneficial for free trade and movement.
Okay. What is being accomplished in your written sole contract, and why did you choose this for the 2024 election?
Ooh, what is being accomplished in your written contract? That he can hide himself from many people and they never know the true Tim WALZ. And what is being accomplished by being in, he really does have this overinflated sense of self. It's almost like he thinks he's invincible, he's untouchable. And I would say that's a characteristic of most politicians, right? He's not isolated in
Yeah.
that. I find that when I do probe them. This is really going to teach him a lot of life lessons that, you know, he's not as invincible as he thinks he is, right? People are poking holes in his life.
Mm.
I feel after the election, a lot of stuff, what I'm getting from Erik's chiming in now, a lot of stuff is going to come out about Tim Walz. I feel like there's going to be a lot of lawsuits. There are going to be many lawsuits against him
Wow.
about his behavior, his inappropriate behavior is what I'm getting. So we're only just seeing the beginning. Right now, a lot of these stories are being controlled and covered up. But once we get into next year, what I'm getting from Erik is that we're going to start to see a whole can of worms and his secret life exposed. So that element of his soul contract, the I'm
Not,
invincible,
yeah, that it is vulnerable.
gonna unravel.
Well, why did you just come out?
Yeah, I mean, nobody cares. Why don't you just come out? No, he says people won't like me.
Oh, so
So
you got
that's
some
something he
self-loathing
has.
going on. You got some self-loathing issues, right?
Do you have some, well, Erik says he does. Do you have some self-loathing issues? Yeah, he doesn't like the image of, he tries to put on this false image
Yeah.
of who he really is. He doesn't like who he is. So are you saying that you really haven't accepted yourself as being bisexual or homosexual? No, he hates that element of himself. So yes, you're right, Elisa, self-loathing.
Yeah. You need to love yourself. You're whole and part of the divine. I wish you
Yeah.
loved yourself. Anyway, you were a teacher for many years. What are your ideas on reducing violence by teens with guns?
Ooh, well, you're a teacher for many years. What is your policy, or what are your ideas on reducing violence for teens on guns? They shouldn't be allowed to have them. Are you going to do gun reform? He would like to do gun reform, but let's ask this question. Realistically, do you think that the Democratic Party, or you would ever be allowed to do that? No. He says, no, we're up against too many powerful organizations, too many powerful people that are
The horse is
greasing the
out of the barn, unfortunately. I mean, I think it's too late. Anyway,
party. It's too late. Yes, we've overstepped the mark, he says, on gun reform. There's no going back.
yeah. How's your relationship with your siblings that apparently turned against you?
Oh, your
I mean,
relationship
I
with
think there was a photograph of them with Trump t-shirts on, so I'm not sure, but it seems
your
like they,
family, they support Trump. Yeah, they're Trump supporters. Well, how does that make you feel? Well, they're just family. Are you close to them? No, he's not close to his family. He's always been seen as the oddball in the family, and he quite likes that.
Hmm.
He looks at them as uneducated, just regular people with no aspirations. He says, I'm just above their league. Do you have a good relationship with them or anybody in the family? No, he doesn't.
Well, that's a shame. Do they
Mm.
know about your sexual preference?
Do they know about your sexual preference? No.
Okay. Now, do you believe that an elected abortion, I do not know what that is, should be legal in the third trimester?
Do you think that,
Maybe
and what is it called? Elective?
elected abortion. Maybe they meant elective.
Elective abortion should be available in the
I'll look
third
that up.
trimester? No, he does not.
Okay. Do you think that a baby born alive after an abortion should receive medical intervention to save his life?
Do you think a baby born alive after a medical abortion should have medical intervention to save his life? No, no, because at that point it's an unwanted baby.
Ugh,
That's
somebody
okay.
might want it. What do you think about that? That it could go to parents that can't have babies.
It could go to parents that can't have babies. He doesn't really, he just kind of gave me a shoulder shrug. He didn't really have much to say about that. So but do you believe a life is a life? Yes, he does. But he believes a life is a life defined by being carried full term or close to full term. As in intentionally the mother wants the baby, yes. But you don't categorize or classify or define a baby in the womb that the mother wants to have aborted. Do you classify that as a life? No. You see how you got to be so careful with these definitions? It's really
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah.
see how that's kind of flip-flop there?
Mm.
But you don't like abortion? Do you like abortion? No, he doesn't like the idea of abortion. He doesn't, he says, I definitely wouldn't want any of my children aborted. I would hate to think that we did something like that.
Well, what about
And
the
I'm
life
glad
of the
that we
mother,
didn't.
or incest, or um, severe disabilities, of
What
or
about the life
rape?
of the mother?
You don't even believe that?
The mother comes first, he says. What about incest? Incest, a child pregnant by incest. Well, then now he is, he understands, he is flexible
Okay.
on those issues. But if it's just an unwanted pregnancy because people, he says, are not careful, he's not as sympathetic in those cases.
Yeah. Well, apparently, ever since Roe v. Wade has been overturned, there have been many more abortions than prior. That's odd, I think. But
Really?
fine, yeah, it's gone up. Because
Oh,
it's the state's decisions. Okay, so a lot of states, it's fine up to the whatever ninth month, 15 weeks, whatever. The world average, I think, is 15 weeks, but don't quote me on that. Do you really want to win this election? Don't tell me, Liz. Don't no, Eric. Don't tell me who's going to win.
oh, okay. Do you really want to win this election? Yeah, he says, yeah, it would be great.
Would you be okay if something happens to Kamala
Would you be
becoming
okay
president,
if
or
something
would
happens
that be too
to
scary for you?
Kamala and you have to stand in? He thinks he's competent.
Okay. Are you or do you subscribe to Marxism, communism, or fascism ideologies or beliefs?
Do you subscribe to Marxism? No, communism. He likes communism. What about fascism? A bit of fascism too, yes.
Was it fascism? What? It's like military control of the people, isn't it?
You don't mind military control
See,
of the people? Do you
the
mind that? It's going to happen eventually. It's like
admission of fascism.
a authoritarian
Okay.
dictator. Would you be a dictator if I'm allowed to? Are
All
you
right.
just
So it's
like on a path?
characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition, and belief in a natural social hierarchy. So you like that?
So you like that? He doesn't mind this, but he's saying dictatorship in the way of like in his personal opinion, it would be good for the people, as in people are being fed and
Oh,
people,
okay.
you know
So
what I mean? He has a very
like
idealistic
father
view.
knows best. It's a father knows best thing, right?
Is it the father knows best thing? Yes, that's right. And he laughed when I said that.
Okay. Do you think Kamala truly believes Trump is a fascist, or is she just using that to get people to vote for her instead of him?
Do you like Trump? No. Do you think Kamala is really believes that he's a dictator or fascist? Yes, absolutely. She firmly believes that. She talks about it often,
What about
frequently.
you?
And
Do you
do
believe
you
I mean, he never showed any signs of that in his 4 years, but do you think he is a fascist?
do you think he's a fascist? He's capable of being one, yes.
But do you think he is now?
But do you think he is now? No.
Okay. Anybody's capable of being anything. Are you and the Harris Biden administration part of a darker agenda, or is this just misinformation?
Are
Because the
you
campaign's gotten dark, man. It's scary rhetoric that could make kooks come out of the woodwork and assassinating Trump or JD Vance or whatever. It seems to go from joy to dark. So are you
uh,
the Harris Biden, not you, the Harris Biden administration?
the Harris Biden administration? Do you think they're working for the dark? Or do you think that they have a dark agenda? They're determined to win at all costs.
Okay. Uh, Are you part of the dark agenda?
Are you part of the dark agenda?
No, I'm
No.
sorry. Harris Biden administration. Sorry.
Is the Harris Biden administration or Biden Harris administration, is it part of the dark agenda? Not that he's aware of.
Eric, you might need to answer this. Are they?
Are they the dark, extremely dark?
Hmm.
It's all, he said, Eric says it's all financial.
Yeah.
This is all,
Everything's
and I
about
would say,
money.
but everything is based upon financial, whether you're left or right. And
Exactly.
your son is saying, yes, that's correct. It's, mostly financial. That's why people want to be in these positions of power. They're making a lot of money from
Yeah.
being in this way. It's not salary related. It's everything else that
Book
goes on
deals and
behind the
stuff. Yeah.
scenes.
Speeches, speaking fees. Yeah. If you could change one thing about your soul contract, what would it be?
You could change one thing about your soul. Ooh, to be straight.
Oh, you should be happy with yourself. Okay, ask him, are you and Harris going to work on eliminating the electoral college?
Ooh, are you and Harris gonna work on
If you would
the,
win.
if you win, would you work on the eliminating the electoral college? No.
Hmm.
He says his own personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. He says that's the only way the Democrats could possibly win because most of the US is red.
Yeah. It's only a few states that are blue. Okay, so what that would be a great way for the Democrat Party to be in power forever,
That
right?
would be a great way for the Democrat Party to be in power forever. It's yes, and his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, that's the only reason they're winning. Or they've won.
Oh, okay. Um, do you think you're going to win
Do
in your
you
heart of
think
hearts?
in your heart of hearts, do you think you're gonna win? No, we're gonna lose.
How do you feel about that?
How do you feel about that? Well, I tried.
Yeah. Is okay.
So what came through with that is these are two people that were selected and told to run, not two people that necessarily wanted to run this time. They were told to.
Yeah. Well, Kamala hasn't earned one vote. She was just dropped in. I'd never heard of this happening before, ever in my life. It's strange, really. Okay, is the Epstein and Diddy list ever going to be published if Kamala wins?
Ooh, if Kamala wins, would you ever publish the Epstein and Diddy list? No, that would be exposed in federal court. It wouldn't be public knowledge. It's going to bring a lot of people down, a lot of good people, he says. Now, bearing in mind what we now know of his antics and everything, let's ask this question. Do you think that Epstein and P. Diddy are good people? No, he doesn't. But what about why don't you think they're good people? Is it because of the acts that they did? Because it was made, they were so public about it. So by saying that they were so public about it, you mean it needs to be more underground? They weren't careful. They didn't care. They just did it out in the open.
They thought they were invincible too, I guess.
Do you believe that they thought that they were invincible? Oh, absolutely. Did you know Epstein? He'd heard of him. Did you have any dealings with him? No.
Anything else, Eric, you want to say anything?
He says, Mom, I love you so much.
I love you too.
And he misses Halloweens with you.
Well, come on, dress up as a ghost.
Oh, he does love you dearly. And he says, thank you for your good work. And I agree with him.
Oh, thank
Not to
you.
mention your hot lipstick you got on today. It's so pretty.
I saw it in a advertisement that it doesn't get on wine glasses. You know,
Mm.
so that was, I can't
Oh,
remember the brand. But all right, thank you. And Liz Cross has so many mind probes. I mean, you are busy. You're so prolific with these mind probes that are incredible. And the psychic Liz Cross is the name of her YouTube channel, my YouTube channel with the mind probes, correct?
yes, yes. And don't forget, we also have a free energy healing channel, the CTT Consciousness Transformation Technique. That is our backup channel. Make sure you're subscribed because it's, these mind probes are quite controversial at times. So, yeah,
Fun.
you never know what YouTube's going to decide. You just have to
I
make sure you're
know.
subscribed to the backup channel.
Yeah. Thank you, Liz. Thank you,
Thank you.
Eric. Thank you, Timothy. Bye, everybody. Hit the like button if you like this. And go out and vote for whoever you want, but do vote. Love y'all.
Thank you.
And
Bye.
subscribe. Bye.